My name is Logan Price, and this is. What's your name?
My name is Albert L. Price,
All right. Where are you from?
right here in Whitley County, Williamsburg, Whitley County.
Where were you born?
Raised.
You were born and raised here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me a little bit about JFK's election. What all you remember from it?
I was in a senior in high school at Whitley County, and wasn't too long before graduation, before I graduated in a half a year. I was in, I'm pretty sure I was in world history class, and they turned it on intercom at school that President Kennedy had been shot. They didn't say nothing about whether he'd been assassinated, but we didn't know at school till later. We'd already got home and everything before we knew that he had been killed, because we didn't know that school, they said that on the intercom, they let us listen to it. Everybody in the school, everybody was really upset, because that's the first president that had been assassinated that I knowed,
During your
in
time?
my lifetime, since Lincoln, I guess. There might have been some attempts on some of them, but, you think, who in the world would do that, And they always, talked about Oswald, and whenever, like when they train you in the service to fire a weapon, on a fire range, they tell you how effective one man and a rifle can be. What Oswald done with that rifle, as far as he shot and hit,
Yeah.
So, he was a Marine though, but it's still they teach you the same way, But it was really a sad time, really was.
All right. And do you remember anything about the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Yeah, buddy.
What do you know about it?
Yeah, I remember. I remember I was at school then whenever John F. Kennedy. I was in high school. John F. Kennedy had ships deployed, and they encircled Cuba and told Russia that they had 24 hours or 48 hours or something like that to get all their missiles out of Cuba. And they had, in Florida, they had the barbed wire. I reckon they said they had the barbed wire stretched along the beaches there, in case, something come up, the Russian troops tried to come into the United States. But, that's the closest, as history has went by, that's the closest, I guess, that we've ever been to nuclear war. Just whenever that happened. And at the time, it was so scary, it was unreal when it happened. It was unreal scary, because, we'd all been taught how deadly and effective nuclear war was. And fear is so bad, But luckily they pulled out their missiles, and they wouldn't let nobody come in at all to Cuba, that country, or nothing, because the United States had them bombarded, This is it.
And then you did serve in the Air Force
Right.
during the Vietnam War,
Right.
correct? Well, what are some of your memories from that?
I remember when I stepped out, and I remember when I stepped back on the plane. That's how I remember everything. Some of them is good memories, and most of them is bad. you
Yeah.
know. Most of them. I refused to die in that place. Too horrible to die in a place like that. And I done my job.
And what are some of your memories about like Agent Orange and napalm?
They made that napalm not too far off the end of the runway, mixed it up, made it, loaded those tanks with it, bomb tanks, and moved them up, put them on a fighter aircraft, and they had to be real careful with them because once they drop them, they had a ignition thing in them, and when they armed them, and sometimes they'd get hung on the aircraft and they couldn't drop them. Maybe one would, and they'd come back in. You know, the plane would come back in and he'd have it on there, and we'd have to, you know, secure the runway and get everything out of the way and everything, and cross your fingers and hope and pray that it didn't fall off, you know, on the way back. But same way that bombs would do the same thing on those fighters. And then those B-52s, sometimes the bombs would hang, you know, maybe 2 or 3 bombs would hang in the rack. And, Agent Orange, I've seen those C-130s. They sprayed it out with those C-130s mostly. And you could see them spraying it, and it was just a yellow mist out behind them. And when it hit the blow, and it just settled on everything, you know. But it settled more where they was wanting it to. If it was too bad windy, they wouldn't spray it. But they really didn't think that it would harm human beings or nothing. But I believe if you'd been right in it, direct in it. But I walked around in it and everything, you know. And it's just old yellow, like mustard looking stuff, you know. And I walked around it, and they had have it in 55-gallon drums. Why, they cut 55-gallon drums in two and grilled out of them that it had Agent Orange in them. So, you know, nobody would know, you know. And now, after all these years, but I'd say that probably in the next 10 years, the majority of the Vietnam veterans will be gone. If not, you know, there won't be many left, because about all of them, a lot of them's already gone. I got 2 brothers that was there, and they're already dead and gone, younger than me. And both Agent Orange killed both of them. Luckily, knock on wood, I'm still here. But it's just, it just was a bad time, you know, just really bad. And it seems like now, inside the United States, it seems safer except for tourists. You know, now tourists are big deal, but it ain't safe for me. You know? And that's what it is. They don't like the way of life, the American way of life. You know. But that, you know, a lot of stuff that I had, you know, I remember it all, but I don't want to, you know.
All right, then I've got one more question.
Okay.
Feel free not to answer it, but how did you feel when you came back from war? How were you treated?
I was, I felt like it. I was ashamed. American people made me ashamed. They talked about, you know, how awful we were, and I didn't tell nobody I was in Vietnam because, you know, they looked down on it so bad. Everybody did, you know, that hadn't never been there, you know, or didn't know what was going on about it or nothing. But I had a job to do, you know, and it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't nothing like what a lot of stuff they talk about, all that killing babies and all this. They might have been some babies got killed, but there's war, you know. They bombed that place and everything else, you know. But it wasn't the treaty. They turned their nose down at about all of Vietnam veterans. the United States, the people of the United States, call them, burnouts and all that, just so everybody come back from on drugs. But, it wasn't that way. It just, but now they regret that, They give veterans now a little bit more, thank. They thank them a little bit more now. Thank of them a little bit more now, I think. But the United States' defense, which it was then and it is now, the United States defense is guys from 18 to 22, 23-year-old. That's America's defense. You go on these army posts or Air Force bases and stuff, and you see the soldiers. They're all young men. They look like kids to me. They'd look older for you, but to me they look like kids and that's America's defense. And they handle nuclear weapons, everything in the world, So, the American people and the young generation, they still got their heads on squares. They all like drug addicts and stupid, like they try to think they are. They're not. Now,
Well, thank you for your time, Papa.
yeah, buddy.